She's part advocate, part comedian, and has 100% yes energy. Today's guest on the Yes Show is Karen Mayer Cunningham, the special education boss. She is a nationally recognized advocate, keynote speaker, and founder of the Special Education Academy. With over 25 years leading families through IEPs and 504s, Karen brings a masterclass in courage, communication, and compassion. Skills every hotel leader needs. You are going to love how she blends all of this with what we do, coaching, leadership, and helping you be an advocate for what you care about. Now, she's also a John Maxwell trainer and a dry bar comic and has nearly 1 million TikTok followers. That's right. Get ready to laugh, lead, and say yes with the one and only Karen Mayer Cunningham. Welcome to the Yes Show. I'm your host, Christine Trippi. Each week, we'll explore the life-changing power of saying yes, along with hotel leadership made easy. Get ready for inspiration, fun, and sweet hospitality. Let's go. All right, Karen, thank you so much for being here. One of the most life-changing yeses that you ever made came the moment that you learned your son had a disability. Can you take us back to that pivotal moment and share how yes not only changed your life, but launched your whole new mission to become the special education boss?
Yeah. He was in 1997 and we'd taken my son to Starbright Pediatrics in Austin. Shout out to them. And this very lovely, stoic, melancholy, harsh woman did an evaluation for my son. She was not friendly. And as somebody who's a comic, I was like, can't we just have a little bit of fun? But obviously she was assessing his strengths and his needs. And at the end, she said, well, he has autism. He has 15 of the 16 markers. He'll never play with other children. He won't ever have friends. He won't graduate high school, and you have to put him at a home. You want a copy of this report?
No
Wow. I mean, are
way.
we going to hug? And so I did take the report. I didn't smack her in the head. I wanted to, but that might have
Yeah.
messed up her hairdo. And we got in the car and we put James back in his car seat. And I just had this new, resolve that between me, God, and Oprah, like I wasn't going to take that as his life. Like I paid cash to have my kids, right? They are not only a tax write-off, but they are the loves of my life. And I
Yeah.
just didn't believe that this spoken word death was going to be his future. And if there was a way to figure something out, I was going to figure it out. And that was,
Yeah.
I decided that, yes, I will be your advocate. I will be your voice. I will stand in the gap for you. I will fight for the services and supports that you need.
So what did that look like? What was the first step to becoming who you are today?
Yeah. So who I am today.
It's a
So the
lot.
first, yeah, yeah. So the first step was, what we need to do is we need to intervene as quickly as possible. If we see that there's something, different about our child on a continuum, cognitively, emotionally, behaviorally, functionally, all those things. I think a lot of parents, and especially moms, we do the comparison charts. Like, Christine, when did your child roll over? My child rolled over in 7 seconds after he's born. Right.
Right.
We do all of this comparison, but there are things and developmental milestones that need to be in that normed and average range. And so the thing that I would say to most parents is move quickly and have your child assessed.
Yes. Well, can I ask how old was he when you kind of discovered there was something there?
Yeah, so he was completely fine until he was 18 months old. We'd gotten his vaccines, and he literally came home that day and would stand in the hall and bang his head into the sheetrock until there was a hole in it the size of a football. And so, as a comedian, I always like make light of situations, right?
Mhm.
But it wasn't funny.
No.
And you call your other girlfriends who have small children, and they're like, "Well, he'll grow out of it. You need to be a better mother. You should turn the TV off." All of these, and people mean well, but they should just say, I'm sorry, can I
I'm
give you
sorry.
help? Yeah, just
Mhm.
zip it and drop off, a basket of menopausal snacks. That's what you should do with your
Yes.
friends, right?
And hey, you know what? Right here, this is a really good point and takeaway item that I am one of those people too that we just want to solve everyone's problem. Someone comes to
Yeah.
complain to me, and the first thing I go is, "Well, have you
Let me get,
tried this?"
yeah.
And we can start here. And I want to solve everyone's problems and help people, but
Yeah.
that's not helping. Most of the time, people are telling you because they just want to vent. And so, if you are, if something I do is I'll ask, I'll say, "Are you telling me this to vent, or are you telling me this because you'd like some thoughts and suggestions or support?"
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
really to just say, I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm here.
Yeah.
You can call me anytime.
Yeah, and pain is never quantified, right? If you have, if you have a bad back and I'm, have an illness that might be the end of my life, pain is pain. There is no, my pain is not bigger. And
Right.
we do not know what somebody else is walking through. We just don't. And so, what can I do to help and support you? Can I come do a load of clothes? Can
Right.
I pick up some groceries for you? Can I drop you off some fermented wine?
Yes.
Something like
And
that.
I'll even add to that because I do that all the time. And I'll say, "Oh, what can I do? What can I do?" Because I honestly just have no ideas what I could do. And what happens is people say, "No, no, no, no." Well, I happen to be at Mayo Clinic for a month with my husband in December. And everyone asks, and I would, of course, say, "Oh, no, nothing, nothing." But then there were a couple people, my sister in law, Kimmy, I'm going to give you a shout out, and my sister in law, Allie, and my mother in law, Robin. I give you a shout. They just sent things, sent me an
Yes.
Uber certificate, sent a manicure
Yes.
locally. So, I mean, just I know sometimes we don't know what that could be, but if you can think of something like an Uber certificate just so they can get dinner or something, asking, you're most likely going to get, "No, I'm fine."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
literally had a girlfriend in the height of the pandemonium that was his disability come over and she goes, "You just go out for the day and I'm going to clean your house and do your laundry." Well, that was
Yeah.
just those hours of just saneness was everything. And I've never
Yeah.
forgotten that. Never.
Thinking about our hotel leaders out there, many hospitality leaders are not only caring for guests and teams, but they also have, of course, families at home. And many might be going through a similar situation. So, for parents in our industry who might suspect that their child needs extra support, what would you recommend for them for an IEP?
Where you begin is you ask for testing, right? You wouldn't go to the hospital and go, "I feel bad." And the doctor goes, "Can I do blood work?" Nope. Right. You go do testing. And so we
Mm.
test in 8 areas. And again, testing does one of two things, it identifies or eliminates. We want both, right? To not know is a terrible intervention, right?
Yeah.
And so we, in America, if you are speech delayed and you suspect another disability, you can start school as early as 3. The day they turn 3, if they turn 3, April 15th, 2025, and they were found eligible by educational testing, then they can begin right then. We call that early intervention. And those years, 3, 4, and 5 before kindergarten can change the outcome for their entire life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, early intervention. They said for my sister-in-law that if they hadn't started when they did, she might not have ever been verbal. So early
Right.
intervention is key.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And this whole, notion, you wouldn't say, "Oh, my daughter's running a fever. I think she'll grow out of it."
Right.
Right. And I
Right.
would I would argue, and it's one of my favorite things to do, have healthy conversations with people. I would argue that an educational intervention sometimes is more important than a medical intervention because we can
Mhm.
readjust those because we are building and teaching kids so quickly. When we don't address that gap, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is
Mhm.
about a young person. This is about the next 80 years of their life, right? After they're 18, will they be able to live on their own? Will they be able to have gainful employment? Will they be interested in further education, right? And so we want all of that for every student.
Yes, absolutely. So now we often hear about IEPs in schools,
Yeah.
but what if we applied the same mindset to the workplace? What
Yeah.
could it look like for hotel leaders to create some kind of an IEP for work, or a personalized plan to help a team member who might have a disability?
Yeah, I think it's well, first of all, when you go to work, we have the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, which says if you are identified with a disability, that school or that job has to not discriminate and deny you accommodations. So you and I are being accommodated right now. We are sitting down, right? We could be
Mhm.
doing this call standing up, but it's an accommodation. So they're just adjustments that bring about equity and
Mhm.
changes outcomes. And so it's just very important that that person with a difference in exceptionality or disability, disease or disorder is able to articulate their needs in a way that's understandable by the listener, right? And some of us, especially in leadership, I'm in leadership, you are, and
Mhm.
hospitality, which is we're so busy being busy and smiling. Have a good day. Have a good day. There's nothing more important. I would not say the customer is the most important. Your team is the most
Yes.
important. If you don't care for your team, it'll show up in how they serve customers. And somebody that travels a lot, just as you do, Christine, the first thing that I do when I walk into a hotel is, first of all, thank you. And it looks like you're having a tough day. I hope I don't bring any trouble, right? That we identify that the other person has needs and wants and emotions and concerns instead of, I think a lot of places in this world are a drive-through world. And so
Mhm.
I think that if we identify what you need, it makes us all better able to do our jobs with exceptionalities. And it makes us more alike than different. We all have differences, right? None of us are firing in all 10 engines socially, emotionally, cognitively, communicative, right? And
Mhm.
so even if somebody doesn't have a disability, for all the leaders out there, one of the things that I always say to my team, what can I do to better help serve you? Because nothing makes me happier than my partners being happy. Because if they ain't happy,
Mm.
nobody's happy, right? And
Mhm.
it's much easier to take care of your team, prune your team, adjust your team, fertilize your team, water your team, give your team a thank you, than getting new team members, right? So take care of
Yes.
the people that you've already been blessed to have.
What would you say if someone didn't disclose a disability, but you could maybe see that there might be challenges?
Yeah.
Is there any way you would say about addressing that or talking through that? Is there any
Yeah.
particular feedback
Yeah.
you'd have for that?
Yeah, so I would just say, Christine, it's so good to have you as a team member. I certainly miss things because I'm so busy being a leader. If is there anything that you could share with me that would make
Mhm.
you feel even more successful working here, right? And it could be the littlest things, right? There are people that don't want you to talk to them nonstop, eye to eye. That's, sometimes we're so used to teaching to the middle and leaving in the middle that we expect people to act like we act. And there's
Mhm.
one person on this planet I cannot see. It is me. There's one person on this planet you cannot see. We all have a physical and spiritual blind spot, right? I think I'm phenomenal, but my first husband might not agree with you, right? And so I'm always asking for feedback from my team. Is there something that I could do better, right? Instead of just I'm here in my ivory tower telling you all what we can do better. We're a team. No matter where you are in, the chart, we're all
Right.
on the same team. And when people are seen, celebrated, and validated, they'll be with you forever.
Yes, yes, I love
Yeah.
that. Now you're such an advocate. I can't wait to get into your almost million followers.
Yeah.
But so for becoming an advocate, there's so many areas in the hotel industry where there needs to be a champion, whether it's advocating for accessibility or inclusivity or human trafficking or work life
Yeah.
balance. That's a big one. If someone in the workplace wanted to become a champion or an advocate for one of these type of areas, what would you say are your first steps to becoming the advocate that you are today?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, you would need to like people. That would always
Yes.
be helpful. I often meet people in schools, not everybody, but I'm like, do you like children? I don't, right? Here's what I always say. I know that children can learn, adults, who knows, right? But the first thing would be, it's sort of being an advocate you wouldn't pick. We don't go to state in baseball. Nobody's giving us an award. Sometimes when you walk down a grocery store aisle and somebody sees you, they go the other way
Yeah.
because we're at a different position, right? I'm serving a child that needs more funding, services, supports, and minutes than a general ed student. And schools are low on staff, low on money, and low on resources, right? And so my job is to take parent passion, educator wisdom, and push it to the middle of the table. And so if it's something you just can't get out of your system and your spirit and your mind, we train advocates nationally. We have the best training. We have free training. We put out 52 pieces of content every day across 7 platforms. We have a 1 hour academy every Monday night that has over 300 hours of trainings archived, and we teach in series because we want you. While I'm the special education boss, I want you to go be the special education boss. I'm just one person with
Mhm.
one very big mouth from the South. But the more advocates that we have trained, the better outcomes. My mission statement is not just some clever quip, it's the truth. When we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. And if
Yeah.
we don't have it right for the child, we don't have it right for anybody. And so I can train anybody. I am a college dropout. I'm not a quitter. I've dropped out of a bunch of colleges. And so you don't have to have a degree, but we train you on the federal law. The good thing about the federal law is not much of it has changed since December 2nd, 1975. And then really the art, which I think Christine teaches so well, the art of not really just negotiating with people and navigating, but connecting, right? It doesn't matter what my message is. I could be selling blueberry jam or hair color or advocacy. If I don't know how to connect with people, it's going to be a wash, right? And so I'm having to connect with people that are not happy about seeing me, right? One of the greatest books ever written by John Maxwell, Many Communicate, Few Connect.
Right.
So I am forever investing in myself to always be a better connector and always with all people.
And let me just confirm. So you teach advocacy, and is
Yeah.
it just for this particular area, or could someone who wanted to be an advocate for human trafficking, could they learn from you?
Well,
Not
who
that
couldn't learn from me,
particular.
Christine? I mean,
Yes,
who
of
couldn't,
course.
right?
Of course.
So I don't teach with that specificity, but we certainly teach about negotiating and navigating. I've had
Got
some
it.
of the best mentors in the world: Myron Golden, Chris Voss, Rory Vaden, Jesse Itzler, Evie Pomperos. You should have all of them on your podcast.
Yeah, I wish they would
Really,
come
if you
on.
understand, I'll just call them. I'll call them.
Call them for
If
me.
you really understand, it's sort of like the secret language. You can get almost anything you want in life. And I mean, like almost if you lean in and are interested in somebody else. I'm
Yes.
so interested in me. You're interested in you. We're also busy doing our thing every day. We rarely stop to consider other people, which is why I'm always taking those trainings. And I remember when I was training with Chris Voss with Black Swan. He's amazing. You should buy the book, Never Split the Difference. And he has 9 Black Swan skills. Negotiate. They're called the Negotiate 9. And, to learn these skills, you got to go out and be with people in public. And I remember when I first started training with him years ago, I was like, I don't ever go out in public. I have been sitting here with my Ethernet cord since March 13th, 2020. So have you. And we
Mm,
have our food delivered and we don't even look up and we drive through and we keep going. People don't even have conversations anymore.
I
And
know.
you can see how uncomfortable it makes them. Right. And so I had to go out and practice these skills of actually having a conversation that wasn't about me, my favorite topic. And when you learn to do that, while it's a higher cognitive load, the payoff is endless.
So let's get to this social media account.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask your age, but you're in the same generation as I.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll be 60 in a few months.
no kidding. You
Yeah.
look
I cannot wait to do
amazing.
my video. I'm 60 and I know it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you look amazing. I'm in awe of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have nearly 1 million followers on TikTok, right?
I have 1 million followers across platforms,
Across the
all the
platforms.
platforms. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. But would you say that you're most present on TikTok?
Yeah, so I have over 500,000 followers on TikTok, and I'm so honored that a few months ago that TikTok corporate ByteDance reached out to me, and they now use how I grew my TikTok with just me, my big mouth, this Loom Cube, this $40 microphone, and my Android, not even an Apple phone, by going live, right? And that's really how I exploded my business because when you go live, we're not editing, we're not cutting, we're just going live. And people love that. You know why? Because these cell phones we make us more connected than we've ever been in the world, and we couldn't be more disconnected.
Yes.
People are, we are pack people. We're meant to be together. And going live, which I teach on Social Media Bosses, is the best way to grow any entity, industry, or area of expertise.
You're inspiring me because it's something I don't do. I make a lot of video and things like that, but I don't go live. You're
But you
inspiring me.
should,
Yes.
because while you are beautiful, your website's beautiful. I went through all of your stuff,
Oh,
and I've
that
even got to spend some time with you at events, but it's also quick. Like this is amazing. People need this. You're an
yes.
encourager, you're a lifter, you're a champion for people. But
Yes.
people want to connect. That is how we are cooked.
And you are 100% right. The live videos are different than the recorded videos. They
Yeah,
just are.
yeah.
Even if it was the same content, it just connects different.
It is different. Yeah. It's
Yes.
so funny. People, one of my biggest questions is, what lipstick is that? I'm like, it's L'Oreal number 108. So much. I had to put it in the link tree because people want to skin you and wear you. And I'm here for it. I want to be skinned and worn, right? Whatever I can do. Like that's, we make each other better.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
100%. So now, you think of the TikTok as the young generations, but you are killing it over there with your
I'm
live
killing it.
videos. Is there any other tips that you'd say for the general managers or the marketing teams trying to amp up either their own LinkedIn or their hotel's platform, their hotel's social media
Yeah. So
platform?
just show us a real day in your life. I would love to see a real day in your life. Can you
Yeah.
believe they left this in the hotel room? Oh my gosh, you didn't know how to turn on a light bulb. Oh, here you go, Karen. Right, the funny stuff
Yes.
that you're all chatting about. Let us see behind the scenes. Let us see, how many shipments you get in a day. Let's have some compassion for you. We get to a hotel looks pretty and has a bow on it, and
Hmm.
everything's here and everything's in the cooler let us see your life. That's what people love about me is I'm talking about my life. I don't edit it. I should filter it, right? Because what I'm going through, somebody else is going through, right? Our struggles, our challenges are the thing that connect us, not I'm amazing, you're amazing, great. That doesn't connect me to people. We're drawn to people because we have the same rub, right? And the same challenges. And so so one of the TikToks that I follow is a guy that mows vacant lawns. And they're
Mm.
3-minute videos. And Christine, I will watch. I know what's going to happen. He's going to blow. I don't know why, but they're so enjoyable, right? I watch a
What, he's
lady
just
that,
mowing a lawn?
oh, you haven't seen him?
No.
SW Mowing. He has like
Okay.
2.9 million follow or a gazillion followers. And he's just this guy. And he goes to, homes that were either vacant or somebody hasn't been there and it's grown up for a year. And he knocks on the door. Can I mow your lawn for free? And they're like, what are you talking about? Or it's a lady that's widow, older. And, and and they're 3-minute videos. You know why people watch
Oh.
other people? Because I'm authentic. You may not like me or like me, but people slow down to watch a car on fire. And I'm a car on fire,
Right,
right?
exactly.
I just am. Like I came out like this. Ask any of my teachers, they're like, would you ever stop talking? No, no, no. And so people want to see the real you. They don't want to see the Instagram you. They don't want to see the beautiful you. Like my background looks beautiful. If you could see 6 inches either way, you would know that I've not finished my salami sandwich and my breakfast might be sitting over there, right?
Hmm.
And people like this, but they want to connect with you. They don't say, Christine, let's go to lunch. If you look exactly perfect and your hair is exact, they just want to be with you. And
Right.
so we're so busy getting ready, we don't do it. So there's
Yes.
3 things. I'm going to give you a secret here.
Okay, I
There's
love
three
secrets.
things that you need to grow your social media.
Everybody pay attention.
You ready? It's
If
really
you
hard.
started
3 words.
multitasking, come
Ready?
back.
Okay. A phone, a message, and courage.
Yes.
Right. And
Hmm.
so how selfish of us to take it with us and not to share what we know because it
Right.
could better bless and lift up somebody else, right? I am not perfect, but people need what we have. Whatever's inside
Yes.
of you is not for you, it's for somebody else. If you're a leader, share that with other hotel leaders, right? And if I was going to call Christine, I wouldn't say, Christine, I'm going to take out a pen and an inkwell. I'm going to send you a letter and put a whack. No, we message each other quickly. If it was my last day on the planet, I would send a video. I wouldn't do a post-it note. So
Hmm.
people want to learn by video. It's the quickest way. You can build a business, a brick and mortar in the palm of your hand, multi 6 figures. And I'm just sitting here living and sharing my truth and how I got from A to B and how somebody else can skip my missteps and get from A to B so their
Hmm.
kids can be successful quicker or get from A to B so their social media can be successful quicker. And so that's what we're supposed to all be. We're all supposed to be teachers. And the way to do that is social media. And it's just no excuse now to not do it. 4 years ago, I was watching the great Gary Vaynerchuk, who I love. He
So
was
do I.
interviewing, yeah, he was interviewing Mr. Wonderful. And he said to Mr. Wonderful, because Gary Vaynerchuk is so gentle and soft spoken like I am. He said, if you are not on TikTok, you are an idiot. Oh, and I'm a lot of things, idiot, not one of them. And I literally had to go to my daughter's house because she's young and still has a thyroid. and her friend took my phone and signed me up for TikTok. Like I didn't even know how to do it. Like I didn't even download apps. I'm like, what's that? What's that? Right.
Hmm.
And I just started and I never stopped because once you post a video, somebody's going to comment and then the conversation starts and you build from there. It never ends. Now, if you're just posting videos because you love to see yourself, well, okay, there's a word for that, right? But
Right.
if you're posting videos to share what, as I always say, here's what you want to post on. If I said, oh, there's something I can't wait to tell you. What is it about your life that I can't wait to tell you? That's what you should be making videos about.
Right. And
And
your videos are mostly informative videos about
yeah,
the education process and special
yeah,
needs and whatnot.
yeah.
Yes, I love it. Yes, love it.
Yeah, and so
Okay,
I
you're
have a tiny, tiny,
inspiring.
tiny, tiny niche, right?
Right.
And but people pay for two things. They pay for convenience and expertise. And
Yes.
you get to shine and show that online for
Right.
free. There's no borders, boundaries, or barriers except for you not pushing record and post. Perfect is never done. Done is never perfect.
I love it. You're inspiring me to start doing some lives on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I am an idiot and I'm not on TikTok.
Well, I didn't say it. Gary said it.
I have an account, but I just rarely ever do it. I had got to the point where I was like, how many social media platforms am I going to really start keeping up with? And so that was when I just, it was, and we didn't know whether it's going to stick around or not, stick around. I'm like, I'll wait and see. But
Let me give you
okay,
a secret.
okay,
It's sticking around.
it's sticking around. Yeah.
It's the number one application in the world since August 2021.
Is that right? Oh.
So, and here's the thing, there's never going to be saturation because there's only one you.
So let me get to how hilarious you are. Let's talk about that. And I watched your dry bar comedy show. Now, is that something you do a lot, or is that just a one-time thing?
Oh no, I've been a professional stand-up comic for 36 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my, I got you. You were so funny, and
Thank
especially
you.
we're the same generation, so
Yeah.
everything hit me so much. I
Yes.
especially love the part about the big hair making your butt look smaller
Yeah.
and the pantyhose.
The pantyhose has been gold. It's so funny. My husband is genius Mensa. And after every comedy show, he goes, "Did you do the pantyhose? That was it a big hit?" I'm like, "It's gonna always be a big hit," and it's true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And this is so funny. I laughed so hard. My husband was worried about me. Yeah, because I'm just trying to remember what state it was, but I went into the CVS trying to buy some pantyhose when I was traveling,
Oh yeah.
and I asked the little fella at the front, and I said, "Where are the pantyhose?" He's like, "What?" He had no idea. And I'm like, like nylons and
He has
yeah,
no idea what you're talking about.
none. And then I finally said tights, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think we sell those."
Yeah. That's the easiest thing when you don't want to help somebody in the store. We don't have that. You
Yes.
know, because I see 12 of them over there.
Yes, it was so funny. So tell me, how did you stumble upon that? Obviously, you are just
So yeah,
genetically funny.
as my dad said, you're living proof that we couldn't spank it out of somebody. I'm like, thanks, Jim. So in high school, I was the class clown, and when I was a lunatic and a rebellious 20 something year old, I moved to Los Angeles and I started doing stand up professionally there. I remember the first
Oh.
time I ever did stand up, I was like, I will never, ever, ever do this again. So being funny with people is one thing. Being
Mm-hmm.
there alone holding a microphone is totally different. And I think people think comedians are just up there riffing, which is what I thought in the 80s. It's not true. They're actually developed. You write, it's content you've written and crafted. It's your own. And so it was such a great opportunity to be on Dry Bar Comedy. They're such a great entity, and it's a great video. So Dry Bar Comedy, Karen Mayer Cunningham, go watch it today. It's the best, and it's clean. It's funny and
Oh,
clean.
yes. Yes.
Yeah,
And if you're a Gen Xer, you're gonna freaking love it.
yeah,
But you'll love it anyways, but especially I think Gen Xers. But also I will put it in the show notes for
yeah.
everyone to just click
That'd
on
be great.
easily. This is something I'm working on to intentionally be more funny in
Yeah,
my speeches and things like that. And so for a leader out there that is trying to add more humor to their presentations, to their huddles, their team huddles,
yeah.
Are there any strategies like here's how you be funny? Do you have a 1, 2, 3 on how to add a little more humor to your
Absolutely.
messaging?
So we say stuff or hear stuff all the time that's funny, but we all have
Mhm.
the memory of a gnat. So you need to go to a bookstore or office supply store and get a mole book, right? Moleskin.
Yes.
And they're little tiny, I don't know, they're like 3 by 5 books. And I have one in my purse right now. And I write things down. Um, Comedy is the thing that unites us because it reminds us of us, right? It's not. And so people say self-deprecating comedy. You know, it's funny because we can relate. It's happened to us. And I
Mhm.
think that people think of people in leadership as somebody higher than them and above them. And the best leaders are great servants. I'm not above any, I'm very clear. I'm not above anybody. I didn't get up and turn on my lungs this morning. And so that gives a commonality to your team, your tribe, that they didn't have before. And it makes you seem more human, right? A
Mhm.
lot of us that are top type A and driven, and people have said, you look like you have it all together. I said, it's an illusion. It's a lot of concealer and illusion, right? None of us have it all together. And so you become more connected to people, and people will be more open with you when you share that more human, vulnerable side. And nothing does that better than comedy. So when you say something funny or hear something funny, you're welcome to steal it, right?
Mhm.
Just write it down and then share that story the next time you go into your group when you have your Monday morning madness mayhem meeting. Yeah.
I
Share how,
love it.
you got in the car, you realized you locked your keys in your car, and then you realized that you were pulling on somebody else's car door Saturday at Target. Just simple things that we all do. That's
Right.
funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're so right. And I was trying, actually watching it, trying to pick out the funny parts and like the science behind it. Like, what is that? And the one thing that got me every time was, when you're about to say something or when you're starting to say something, and then you completely say something that totally surprises
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And that was funny. I was like, oh, how could I weave some of that into my TED Talk coming up?
Yeah, it's totally the comedy is it's the reason we laugh is because we're shocked. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Right.
Right. Which
Right.
we hear and see that all day long. Like, I cannot believe the
Mhm.
lady in front of me just said that. Right. And so it doesn't even have to be something that somebody said. Just write down what you saw that was funny. Recently, I was at getting lunch, and I'm very simple and very demonstrative, and I'm very clear. We call it German. And I said, so I want a club sandwich, no ham, double turkey. And she said, so no mayonnaise. I don't exactly. No, I said, yes, I want mayonnaise. It keeps my skin moist. What are you talking about?
Right.
It's just like that's not what you think she's going to say in response, right? Which tells you
Hmm.
how disconnected people are from listening, right? Yeah. So
That's
there's
so
tons of, I'm
great.
sure there's a ton. I probably could do a whole hour for hotels. I go
Mm,
to so many hotel rooms, and you're like, wonder who was here before me. Yeah. And the
yes.
things that I can roll around and dismount in a hotel so that I can do a well lit Zoom, I could probably secretly tell all of you.
That's that you can write a whole book on it.
Yes. Yes. I was at a hotel last 2 weeks ago when we were in Nashville, and the desk actually rolled. I was like, it still rolls because now everything in a hotel room, probably because of people like me, is all like screwed to the wall. You can't
Right.
move anything anymore. I was
Yes,
like,
we're
where is the plug?
now one thing you might not know, every guest of the show, I ask them a question for my next guest.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you for my last guest, and it happens to be one of our mutual friends, Amani.
Oh,
He
I
was
love
on.
Amani.
Yes, I
Yes,
know. I love him too. And so I have his question. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. What is your favorite mistake that you made in life, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, my favorite mistake in life was thinking that I could control situations or write a check to fix it. And God broke my heart with my son's disability, and it changed the entire trajectory of my life.
Hmm.
Um, so that was the biggest mistake, was thinking that I was somewhat in control of anything ever. And the
Right.
only thing I'm in control of is my response to this amazing world.
Ah, I love that one so much. I want to ask you, can you give us a follow-up on your son? How's he doing?
Oh, so my son's completely recovered. He's a grown man. He is 30 years old. He is a professional bowler on the PBA Southwest Regional Tour. He'll be paying for all my plastic surgery. So the next time you see me, Christine, I could have lips the size of the panhandle. I'm just saying that's my goal. Because I think big hair and big lips, I will look like a model.
A model.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll
Yeah.
be amazing. You don't
Yeah.
need anything. But that's so wonderful here. And I have a 30-year-old as well.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't believe he's 30 since I'm 35. I'm like, it's so weird that I'm gonna be 60 this year because I think of people that are 60 as adults, which I have never claimed to be one.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
No. 60 is the new, I don't know, 28. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And it's
Yeah.
funny because when he did turn 30, I said, how did you get older than me?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny.
So, what question do you have for our next guest?
What is the best investment that you've ever made in yourself?
Okay, best investment you've ever made in yourself. I love that. Do you want to
Yeah.
answer it for
Yeah. I
yourself?
mean, the best investment I've ever made in myself. And I mentor a lot of young people. Of course, everybody to me is a young people and, a young advocate. And she is quite the academician. And she's like, I just want to be doing what you're doing. And, I
Mm.
said, she goes, if I could add something right now, what would I add? Would I add social media? Would I get a better website? Would I read more books? I said, invest in being the world's greatest communicator because everything in this world pivots on my ability to successfully communicate and connect with others.
I love it. And
Yeah.
what would you say was the actual investment that got you on that route to being the great communicator that you are?
Yeah. So I was 27 years young in, some sort of polyester dress from Bell's. Had a 1 year old, and I was at an Amway convention. If you haven't sold toilet paper in somebody else's garage, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
And this lady walked out, Florence Littauer, and she wrote a book called Personality Plus, changed my life forever. I use all of my partners, I train them on Personality Plus. It's the temperaments, choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and phlegmatic. And then, now I'm a disc trainer. But
Oh.
if you don't have enough sense to realize that nobody else is cooked like you, then you're just might as well be talking into a whisper phone, right? And
Mhm.
so when she taught me that, I was like, oh, I thought my husband wasn't speaking because he was being mean. Oh, he's not cooked like I am. I'm a skillet. He's a crock pot. And so
Mhm.
not a crackpot, people, a crock pot. And so I thought he was being mean by not answering me. He's a processor, right? And so if
Mhm.
you don't know, we mow through this world thinking we're a bunch of us's around us. There's not. 25% of the world are drivers, 75% of the world are responders, and they are typing what they think about you on the YouTube, right?
Mhm.
And so to not honor somebody else's temperament is being selfish, right? And so if I know that, I mean, Christine and I are both like, party, sprinkle, umbrellas, woohoo, right? So if I just
Yes.
tell Christine we're going to do something and it's going to be super fun, she'll go do it. It wouldn't matter what it
Done.
is.
And
My husband needs to know how long is this going to take? He will say, what mile marker is it at? What will the temperature be when we get there? Do we have enough? Oh, but that's exactly the way he's cooked, right? And just like people wake up how they're cooked. And so when I learned about that and have spent so many years learning about people and negotiation, and Evie Pomperis was one of the CIA agents at 9/11. She is looks like a Russian model, beautiful, this great communicator. And so I've trained over the years with hostage negotiators.
mhm.
And all of that is they are telling you who they are if you will zip it and listen and apply those principles.
Love it. What was the
Yeah.
book one more time that you mentioned there that you read
Um,
when you were 27?
yeah. So the first book is called, Personality Plus by
Personality Plus.
Florence Littauer, Littauer. She's gone to be in heaven, but she has a great book called, The Personality Tree.
Oh,
And she has a book called Wired That Way, working with other people in the hotel that may not be as amazing as you are.
right.
There is, a lady that works at the hotel that I go to often, and she is serious. She's not a goofball. She's not going to be goofing around. And if I didn't know, if I wasn't emotionally well, I might think that she's being rude. It's just she's very linear. She's very analytical. She is checking you in. Here is your key. Do you need anything else? She's not going to go, oh gosh, Christine, how are you? So good to see you. Right. And so sometimes when people don't show up like us, we get offended. Why? But one of us is plenty. One Karen Mayer Cunningham is plenty to go around, right? And so when I read these books and it takes you out of you, right?
Mhm.
And you can see other people. So we'll be sitting somewhere and I'll be like, that was very melancholy. Did you see how sanguine she was? That was choleric. So it's
Mhm.
a great thing to know. And you can see a bunch of 2-year-olds and go, he's going to be in charge of the entire free world. He has low blood pressure. He's going to marry a lunatic wife, but he's very calm. And you can see
Right.
it from the time they're little, right?
You
Their
can.
personality is baked into you.
Yes, it really is. And it sounds like we're married to the same fella.
Now, I think so. Is your husband? My husband's Mensa. I always say
Well,
he's really smart. I'm really happy. They're two different things. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know about that one, but he's both detailed and afraid of the world.
Yeah. Yes. He's like, I'm like, we went to a barbecue Saturday and we never get to do anything. And I'm all dressed up and pinked and bedazzled and braceleted. And I was like, are you so excited for going? He goes, absolutely not. This is the last thing I'd want to do on a Saturday. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So
doesn't matter.
he would rather be in a room where it's 10 degrees with aluminum foil. And I'm like, could we invite more people over? Like you could leave me at the airport with a bag of beef jerky and a Mountain Dew, and I'd be so happy. He's like, these people are wearing me out.
It's so funny that you said that. I can't tell you how many times I've said, I would love to just go hang out at O'Hare and help people find
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Being at the airport.
Yes. It looks like you are hungry. I'll watch your bags. You will get a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband's always like, stay out of it. Stay out of it. I'm like, I'm in it. I am in it. I was literally at O'Hare a few years ago, and I'm not a little bit controlling. I invented the word. And so I went up to the counter and he was like, they changed our gates. I literally turned around and go, we're at gate 11 now. And just, let's go. Let's roll out.
To everybody.
It's just, if I find somebody wandering in the grocery store, like for 2 aisles, I'm like, do you need something? Because you're irritating me. And they'll go, do you work here? No, but what do you need? You need pasta sauce? Let's go. Right?
Yeah, let's go. Do you want me to take it home and cook it for you too?
That's right. Do you have a ride? Yeah.
Well, we've talked about so many good juicy nuggets. I always love to end with, before telling everybody where they can connect with you and all of that, but end with some like 3 great action items from today's podcast. First of all, you gave some great book suggestions. So that's great. And I'll put those books in our show notes for everybody. One that I can think of offhand that I think was a great tip was about how when people do vent to you or talk about their heartbreak, that they just want someone to listen. I thought that was a really good thing to share from your perspective. What's another great takeaway? Adding humor into getting that mule book.
Yeah, the Moleskin book.
The Moleskin.
There's probably a mule book. Maybe we should brand one, Christine. The Christine and Karen mule book. Yeah. And then I would say capture your life on video every day that you brush your teeth, whether it's for a business or for your grandbabies or for your neighbors. So when you are in heaven, they will know you are better than them. Do that. If you're going to brush your teeth, you know what? You weren't born brushing your teeth. You actually had to learn. You hated it. You didn't like it when your mom did it. Some of you don't even do it, once a week, right? Why do you brush your teeth? Because it's necessary to have healthy teeth. If you want to share your life, and maybe you don't even want to share your life, but somebody else would love you to share your life, your grandkids, your son, your coworkers, capture your life. What a great, brilliant gift to leave for the world. And so just record talking to yourself. Like, don't you talk to yourself anyway? I've seen you talking in the grocery store to yourself. I saw you talking at the red light, right? Just share your life. Your light and your life is for somebody else. It's not for you.
Love that. That's a perfect place to end there. So tell everybody where they can connect with you, see your awesome TikToks.
Yeah. So I'm on social media. Yeah. On social media, you can find me at Special Education Boss on all platforms. And we are on Special Education Academy on the YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, all the things multiple times. And again, if there's anything that we can ever do for you, if there's some content that you would like, if you would like us to have a webinar with somebody that that's amazing in the special education space, we are happy to do that because the more we know, the more we have an opportunity to do better by kids.
Yes, yes. So if you are thinking of somebody, she would be perfect for, I'll put her contact information in our show notes. Connect with Karen because she is, as you can see, hilarious, smart, and amazing. And leads from the heart. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Christine.
I have just had so much fun. And, again, the whole show is called The Yes Show. And, when we first met over at Rory Vaden's event, which was amazing, I didn't know at the time, how would this connect? But every time you say yes, you can change the world. And I know that there's somebody that's going to be listening that really needed to hear some of your messages. So thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap for today's show. Say yes to taking action and changing the world one yes at a time. And oh, my friend, will you say yes to review, like, and subscribe? The more yeses you give, the more juicy goodness I can bring to all of you wise pineapples. Cool or cool?